Welcome to the fourth episode of the Cryptonator 1337 podcast. Nice that you tuned in. Welcome to my next episode of my podcast, and today we will talk basically about three things. The first are the Bitcoin holdings of Satoshi Nakamoto, followed by my fellow friends from Binance who just bought CoinMarketcap a few weeks ago. So we'll talk about the motives Binance could have. And last but not least, I will get to the topic of how to explain Bitcoin or technological things in general to newbies like J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter. Okay, so let's get started. Most of you will probably know that Satoshi Nakamoto is the nickname of the person of the group who invented Bitcoin, and that Satoshi himself never bought any Bitcoin but was the first Bitcoin miner. And the question is, how many Bitcoin has he mined overall? So what is the stack looking like today? And to evaluate this, we will dig a bit deeper into the first days of Bitcoin's existence. So the Genesis block was mined on January 3rd in 2009, and till approximately Christmas 2010, the hash rate was nearly constant, around 5 megahash per second, before increasing a bit faster around or after Christmas 2010. And as there were just a few transactions in each block, we can assume that there were not a lot of users or miners at all. I mean, if there were people joining and leaving the network as miner on a more regular base, there should have been more volatility when it comes to the hash rate, right? So, there were early users like Halfini, but there is no evidence that people like him mined a significant amount of Bitcoin back in the days. And one theory goes that Satoshi was mining the biggest part in this time frame. So from time frame beginning January 2009 to Christmas 2010. And it's a fact that a single Intel CPU, or the best Intel CPU which was available back in the days, would have been capable of achieving the formerly mentioned hash rate of 5 megahash per second. And if there would have been more serious miners, there should have been a higher hash rate directly. So the estimation which is going around on the internet since 10 years is that Satoshi owns approximately 1 million BTC. So let's look. In 2009, there were around 1.6 million BTC mined. With a 60% hash rate, percentage of the complete hash rate, Satoshi could have mined 1 million BTC in the first 12 months of Bitcoin's existence. And this makes this estimation of 1 million BTC even too low for many people, because Satoshi could have, of course, continued to mine Bitcoin in 2010. Maybe the percentage of the complete hash rate was even higher than 60%. So at the end, we don't know, but we can assume that Satoshi really owns a huge part of Bitcoin. But I don't think that we will ever see a real movement of those coins which belong to Satoshi. So for me, there are basically just two opinions. options, my bad. And this would be A, he's dead, or B, still hiding with no intention to ever to do anything with his BTC stack. But all those are speculations. But as we saw again a few days ago, it's like a Damocles sword pending over our heads. Like, should the day come where Satoshi really moves a huge portion of his stack, you can be 100% sure that the market will react pretty harsh, and that we will not just drop a few $100. But as I said, in my opinion, it's not probable that this will ever happen. So let's go to the next topic. Yeah, it's about another entity who owns a shitload of Bitcoin, and those are my friends from the Binance exchange. Greetings to CZ at this point, but I guess he will never listen to it. Life is hard, right? So, as you know, Binance bought CoinMarketcap. I think right now it's 6 weeks ago. Yeah, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I don't know. And you know that I'm one of the few people in this scene who already warned 2 years ago that Binance might get way too powerful in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And in my opinion, CZ's behavior and deeds prove this so far. Just recently acting in the Steam case like he's one of the good guys in the story. Well, a lot of people already forgot that he or Binance were part of the origin of this problem. And the other news, which I mentioned, was that Binance bought CoinMarketcap. And since then, a lot of people are speculating about the reasons for this expansion. Some people say it's just to diversify and get another income stream. But could this really be the case? This was a question I asked myself several times. And so I went on and made a rough calculation of potential earnings Binance could generate through CoinMarketcap. As you maybe know, I have an online marketing background, working in the sector since over 10 years. So I have a bit of a plan when it comes to those estimates. And at the beginning, what we need is estimates about the traffic of CoinMarketcap. And according to SimilarWeb, CoinMarketCap.com has around 35 million visitors per month, with around 2.5 page views per visitor. So we end up with roughly 90 million page views per month. We can now use those numbers to get a clue what income CMC could generate through ad slots. Right now there are 2 ads when I visit CMC, one leaderboard banner on top and a skyscraper in the sidebar. But there might be others on different devices. A friend sent me once an ad for Western Union, which he saw on CMC while browsing on his iPhone. So those are not all potential ad slots, but as I said, it's just a rough estimate. Okay, so now we have the 90 million page views per month. What we do now is estimating a CPM. CPM stands for cost per mil, so the price for 1,000 ad impressions. Those CPMs are varying from topic to topic. when it comes to cryptocurrencies, we can assume an average of around $7 per CPM, means $7 per 1K ad impressions. It could be a bit more, it could be a bit less, but in my opinion, it's a good number to start with. So 90 million page views divided through 1K, so the CPM, makes 90K. So we have 90K times $7 CPM and end up with $630,000 ad revenue per month, or around $7.5 million per year. So while some people would think, oh yeah, that's quite some money, it's worth it to run this business for Binance, it's not really that much for Binance itself, as the revenue per quarter is already in the high 2-digit million USD amounts through their main business, so their exchange. So 7 million more or less per year can't be a main reason in my view. Yeah, it seems more probable that Binance wants to increase their influence and power in the cryptocurrency ecosystem more than just diversifying as a business in a certain sector. And what was clear for me from the beginning was that Binance will try to make new metrics, especially for the exchange ranking. And I was right, so they really did it. And when I saw it, I had to giggle like now, because it's horrendous. I don't understand how people can buy it from CZ that he's caring about the customers and that they can compare exchanges better than before. But let's get started. So what Binance did after buying CoinMarketcap is that they invented a new metric to measure or to evaluate the quality of a cryptocurrency exchange. They called this the web traffic factor. And yet now is following a quote. CoinMarketcap provides a web traffic factor of exchanges by referencing data from multiple web traffic solutions and provides a summary score of 0 to 1000. The higher the score, the better. Okay, yeah, fair enough. 1 to 0, 0 to 1K. The higher the score, the better. Seems fine at first. But then you look at the exchange ranking on CoinMarketCap and you see Binance has the highest score of 1000 all the time. It's basically the standard now. Since they went online with this, Binance had never a score below 1000. And it's getting even more interesting when you look at the places behind. Like, you end up with Yobit on place 10 in front of exchanges like Bybit, Bitfinex, Huobi barely in the top 20. And this is everything you need to know to get to the conclusion that this metric could be a bit flawed. And CoinMarketCap never reacted on the question, why did you make this the standard? Are you serious with this? Why is this the standard? Their argument is, yeah, users can switch. Yeah, but why is it the standard? Yeah, it's not a coincidence, dear guys and ladies from Binance. You can't tell that to anybody. Nobody believes you. And if they do, yeah, don't know what to say about those people. Yes, you can use this metric to evaluate an exchange, of course, yeah. but it shouldn't be the standard. And it's obvious, in my opinion, that Binance tries actively to mislead users here. They act like they just did what the customers wanted. Quote CZ, we listened. CoinMarketcap updated exchange rankings. Yeah. Just a bit clapping for this one. However, I'm curious to see how Binance will continue with CoinMarketcap, especially with launching potentially new services. I could imagine buy Bitcoin with credit card directly on CoinMarketcap, powered by Binance, whatever. I can just recommend to keep an eye on them. In my opinion, they will fuck up big time. Probably will not stay in the business over the next 2 years. But yeah, we will see. Time will tell. So let's go over to the next topic and talk about J.K. Rowling's meet and greet with crypto Twitter and the question how to explain Bitcoin to beginners. So when J.K. Rowling tweeted that somebody should explain Bitcoin to her, crypto Twitter showed what it is capable of. Thousands of tweets, there were fake profiles created. CZ, Justin Sun, Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, they all embarrassed themselves. And at the end, I just sat there and thought, what is the best way in general to explain technological inventions to people? And what should be obvious is that people tend to learn best when they are really interested in something. And when are we interested in something? Correct. When a topic relates to us directly. When you have to explain a complicated topic to someone, use the egocentric behavior, which most people have. So answering the question, what's in it for me? Yeah, how can I benefit from this knowledge you might give to me? So it's important to make the topic matter to the people, to wake up their desires. For tech topics, this can be security or privacy. For example, you don't trust banks long term, right? And so you can find a catching hook, and the rest of the explanation gets way easier. So it's just about to find a connection to the individual you're talking to. And while explaining, you should try to use things or details which the person already knows. You can speak hours about the Bitcoin network, transactions which are getting verified by miners, and so on, and people wouldn't get it. Or you can just describe it using terms they might understand better, like it is an alternate and better form of money. That's it. That's the beginning. So they understand the basic idea before getting even deeper into the topic. Yeah. So you can see what the other one knows, what he might have as knowledge, not directly to the topic, but something he can connect with it. So yeah, see what the other one knows, and from there build up slowly and just don't overwhelm your talking partner. Another important point is you have to know what details to leave out. So not every detail you might know is important. It can be important for you because you're already more advanced, but it's not important to a newbie. Yeah. For example, a Bitcoin newbie should understand that Bitcoin have to be mined, and this mining can be explained by solving mathematical puzzles with computing power. But you don't have to explain what the hash rate exactly means or what the difference between certain Bitcoin miners is. Those are all topics which you can present later on. But if you go from 0 to 100 within a few seconds, you will just overwhelm the newbie, which can end with him saying, no, I will never get this stuff. That's nothing for me. It's really just something for ultra nerds. But that's not the case, and you should always think about that you have way more knowledge about Bitcoin than the average Joe on the street. So when you are listening to this podcast, you know more about Bitcoin than 98% of all other people. That's a fact, yeah? So next time when somebody like J.K. Rowling is treating a question like this, don't get too extreme. Yeah, explain it slowly. Try to estimate the knowledge level. Adapt your answers, your system in getting this knowledge through. Yeah, thank you that you listened again to my podcast. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Maybe there will be an interview, but I have no fixed date yet. Otherwise, I will do a single episode again. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of the Sunday. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero.